Hi everyone. Today I will talk about using Mistral 7B for scientific paper summarization in hypersonics. The rapid surge in scientific literature has intensified the need for automated summarization and key point extraction to make scientific papers more accessible to broader audiences. Traditional summarization techniques focus on fluency and coherency, but scientific papers require technical accuracy as well. The goal of this project is to use domain-based prompt engineering for summarization and key point extraction in aerospace engineering research papers. The dataset in this study consisted of 5 papers in hypersonic aerothermodynamics. They were all chosen based on 3 criteria: belonging to a single domain, having a maximum word count of 6,500 words, and a structured format. Full text content of the papers, except figures and references, were used as input. The overall objective here was to choose a model that would be capable of generating a domain-specific summary using prompts rather than fine-tuning. 3 main selection criteria included context window size, performance on scientific text, and generalization. Mistral 7B was chosen as it outperformed all other open source models on a number of tasks, including reasoning and technical comprehension. The prompting strategy was developed through an iterative process to identify the level of detail necessary to generate an accurate domain-specific summary. The first prompt was intentionally generic to establish a baseline. Subsequent iterations involved using domain and paper-specific context to evaluate if the additional information improved the model's ability to capture technical content. The generated summary was evaluated in terms of completeness, correctness, and coherence. A combination of user-defined and standard metrics was used to evaluate the summary. User-defined metrics included domain term coverage and physics correctness scores, while RU score was used to measure linguistic similarity with a reference summary. An example of a domain-based prompt used to generate the summary is shown here. The preprocessed text is included right below the prompt. On the right, the commands used to set the temperature and generate a summary are shown. Each prompt basically had 3 key elements: a specific audience, a focus, and a structured output format. This is an example of the summary generated by the model for a given paper. It can be seen that the model was able to output a structured format as specified in the prompt. This table summarizes the domain term coverage for all papers. It can be seen that the term coverage varies across the papers. Papers 1 and 3 exhibit the highest term coverage, indicating shared domain vocabulary. Papers 2 and 5 show moderate coverage, while paper 4 exhibits the lowest term coverage. This indicates terminology in paper 4 relies on more paper-specific terms than broader domain terms, indicating a paper-specific prompt may be more suitable. This figure plots a heat map of the term frequency drift for all domain terms for each paper. Based on the definition of term frequency drift, it can be seen that underrepresentation of words is more common than overrepresentation, with only a couple of instances of positive drift. This suggests summaries are more likely to compress domain terminology than amplify it. The term model is strongly underrepresented in every paper, indicating systematic omission of this concept. Finally, paper 3 shows the least negative drift, indicating that it maintains domain-specific terminology better than other papers. This could be due to paper 3 being the shortest of them all. This table summarizes the physics correctness scores for all papers. It can be seen that these scores achieve moderate to high performance across all papers. Shown here is a heat map of the various subcriteria used to calculate the physics correctness score. It illustrates which subcriteria that the model struggled with or excelled in, with scores ranging from 0 to 2. The heat map reveals that the model was able to capture the physics correctness and numerical values well across all papers, highlighting the strength of domain-based prompting in preserving physical reasoning and quantitative relationships. The model struggled with technical accuracy and alignment with source when using domain-based prompting. Performance was mixed on regime accuracy, with some papers excelling in this area and others not so much. Overall, this illustrates that the model is not able to capture all aspects of physics correctness equally well. This table summarizes the Rouge F1 scores for all papers. These Rouge results provide insight into how well the generated summaries aligned with abstract of the paper. Rouge 1 score is a measure of individual word overlap between summary and the reference abstract. Papers 4 and 5 show the strongest Rouge 1 score, while paper 3 is noticeably lower. Rouge L, which measures longest common sequence similarity, achieved strongest performance on papers 2 and 4. This indicates stronger overall structural similarity to the reference summaries. Overall, papers 2 and 4 consistently achieved the highest Rouge scores across all metrics, while paper 3 shows the weakest performance. Strengths of the study include the use of multiple evaluation metrics, providing a comprehensive assessment of scientific summarization. Evaluating LLMs in a highly specialized physics-heavy domain such as hypersonic aerothermodynamics fills a gap in current research. Identifying the subcriteria that the model struggled with and excelled in provides insight into LLM limitations and informs future prompt design. Term frequency drift analysis highlighted that the model was more likely to compress terminology than maintain it. This work also developed and tested a domain-specific prompt and showed that prompt engineering can meaningfully improve LLM performance in technical fields. Some of the limitations include that only a single LLM model was tested here, and the dataset consisted of only 5 papers. Additionally, a paper's abstract may not be able to capture the full richness of the document as a reference summary. Overall, it was found that using a domain-based prompt produced better term coverage and physics correctness score than a generic prompt. Term frequency drift analysis revealed that most terms are generally underrepresented in the summary. Physics subcriteria analysis showed that there are certain areas that the model struggled with more than others. Future work can focus on testing how domain term coverage, term frequency drift, and physics correctness scores would vary with a different LLM. Further work could also examine how different prompting techniques, such as few-shot or chain of thought, may improve physics subcriteria performance. Using a different reference summary for Rouge scores, such as conclusion or an expert written summary, would also be useful.